Welcome back to Currency 365, powered by Eyes Open Media. And welcome to another World News. This is episode 27. Now, today is National Cheeseburger Day, so that's why the thumbnail picture and the pictures that you see in the audio will be about cheeseburgers, okay? Different types of cheeseburgers, just to represent the National Cheeseburger Day. All right, so let's get into this. Not really much to talk about, but let's see what we have here. All right, so let's go with the market first. Let's see how the Dow Jones and the rest of the markets did today. Okay, so the Dow Jones was down 290 points today. All right, NASDAQ was down 66 points today. Okay, oil was down, and it's at $45 a barrel. Gold was actually up today, and it closes at 1,139 points. Europe was down on the dollar today as well. Let's see. Anything else? Symbol FCX was down 10% today. That's Free Report Incorporations. Another company that was down 10% today was HMY, Harmony Gold Mining. A lot of companies were actually down today. Sprint Nextel was down 4%, and Sandridge Energy Incorporations was down almost 7% today. All right, so let's look at the Asian and Europe markets. Let's see. Okay, well, the Shanghai Composite are closed. Everything's closed, and that was up today. The Shanghai, the Hang Seng, was up today. Nikkei was down. The markets are going to be opening up there in a couple of hours. Let's look at Europe. Europe was all down today. The CAC 40 was down 2.5%. The DAX was down 3%, and the FTSE 100 was down 1.34%. All right, so in America, the S&P 500 was down 1.61%. Mexican Bolsa was down, actually up today, and the Brazilian stock market was actually down today, over 2%. Australia was up. India was up. Taiwan was up as well. All right, so now let's move on to the world news here. New Jersey man pleads guilty in insider trading scheme. They're catching a lot of insider trading that's going on in the Wall Street. There's a lot of it. Okay, a lot of people are making money buying and shorting, and they're scheming off of people, innocent people, and especially insider trading. Okay, says a New Jersey man charged in the elaborate insider trading scheme admitted on Wednesday to trading on secret information from one of the New York leading mergers and acquisition law firms, according to the court documents. Well, didn't he know that this was going to get him in trouble? Didn't he know? He must have been very desperate, because you're going to do federal time for this. I believe he knew that. I don't know. Whatever. Vladimir. How you say this name? Vladimir Edelman. Okay, 43-year-old pled guilty in federal court in Trenton, New Jersey, to conspiracy and fraud charges in connection with the 5-year scheme. Wow, he did it for 5 years. Wow, that authorities said netted the men more than $5.6 million. Wow. A former broker dealer with what's this called? A former dealer with Oppenheimer and Company and Morgan Stanley is scheduled to be sentenced on December 21st. December 21st, that is the end of fall. Interesting day. Let's see. His lawyers couldn't be reached for comments. Of course, of course they can't be reached for comments. They have no shot here. This guy's going to jail. He's going to federal jail. Federal jail is actually way nicer than the state prisons, though. You know, so they treat you better. Federal, they treat you better. It's a lot cleaner and nicer. So I think he'll be fine in federal prison and not going. Maybe he might go to state. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's move on. Why Janet Yellen, blinked on interest rates. It says it has been 7 years of 0% interest rates. And what's another 2 or 3 months, huh? All right. So this article just talks about how the interest rates have been at zero for a long time, and the risk of changing it right now is too risky. And it could be a mistake to blink too early and raise the rates up too early right now, too premature. And this is embarrassing because you're talking about the federal government who has said that there has been an economic recovery in America. They also put out that the unemployment is at 5.1%, but yet they cannot raise interest rates 0.001%. They can't, I'm going to repeat that. They cannot even raise interest rates 0.001%, but they're saying there's an economic recovery. They're saying unemployment is at 5.1 to 5.5%. But they cannot raise interest rates for some reason. They're saying it's too risky right now. How is it too risky if you're saying that there's a recovery? Oh, man. We're not dumb, Janet Yellen. Please stop thinking the American people are dumb, because we're not, okay? This is ridiculous. You can't raise interest rate because there is no recovery. The American economy is tanking, and unemployment is probably almost going to 40%. That's why you can't raise interest rates right now. Oh, man. Anyways, let's move on. Like I said, there's not really much to talk about today. Syria's Assad, who was the president of Syria, said that the West is to blame for the refugee crisis. Okay. Let's see what he says here. He says, Assad says blaming the West nations for fueling the refugee crisis by supporting opposition groups in the country's bloody civil war. Basically, he's saying the West is supporting ISIS. So, that's basically what he's saying, okay? And the Russians are basically there to remove ISIS and Daesh and all all the terrorist groups, and that is why people are fleeing from Syria into the western border. So if the West stopped funding these terrorist groups, Assad is saying that there wouldn't be a refugee crisis. So the West is doing it on purpose to collapse the West. They have conspired with the Western world, and they're going to use the refugees to collapse the Western world. Okay, so that's basically what Assad is saying here. He's blaming the West for the crisis, and they're supporting the terrorist groups. And Russia is now in Syria fighting the oppositions, and which means that the Syrian people are running because they're in a war. It says here that 220,000 people have died, okay, in this conflict of war so far, and a lot of more people could have died, but they are all fleeing from the country. Okay, so he says Europe is responsible because it supports terrorism. He said in the interview at his home in Damascus. Okay, so strong words from President Assad of Syria right there. Okay, so let's see. Maybe the West counteracts and makes a statement on that. I don't know. I don't think Obama's going to say anything about it. We know about the Chile earthquake. It was like a 8.3. So it was very devastating and I think it was right off the coast of Chile. And that was Wednesday night. And they're saying that advanced planning and authorities' quick reaction was the reason why lots of lives were saved. So they were prepared. I guess they knew things were coming or something major was coming. I guess, usually when you have an earthquake, a major earthquake coming, there is signs that a major earthquake is coming. It usually just doesn't happen right away. There's usually signs. So I guess they saw the signs that something was going to happen, and they had emergency preparation plans, and they had everything in measures, and they did a great job. So Chile's Holy Cross or First Aid, Red Cross representatives, and all the emergency action planners, the firemen, the police officers, everybody did a great job to reduce the injuries and to save lives. Okay, so that was a good job by Chile during this 8.3 massive earthquake. Okay, now let's go to Iraq. I have one more article, and then I'll finish it off with a question somebody had that didn't look like it was answered, so I'll try to answer that. Okay, so it says Nasiriyah protesters. Okay, Nasiriyah is a region in Iraq. Okay, the protesters threatened to transfer the demonstration to uprising unless the demands are implemented. Okay, they're probably talking about the reforms. Okay, so it says the demands of the implementation of government reforms and promises of Prime Minister Abadi accountability spoilers while threatening the transfer of demonstrators to uprising unless the demands of the demonstrators, including the sacking of Chief Justice Medhad I can't say this guy's name. Let's just go with Medhab. I can never get this guy's name right, okay? So, Chief Justice Medhab, he is the top justice in the Iraqi government, okay, judicial system. And he has to go. He is corrupted. He put it in his resignation, and then he told the people he's not leaving. So that, that's how corrupt he is. He knows that if he comes down, he loses his immunity, and he will be tried for a lot of criminal activities, including into the international courts, okay? So basically, the article is saying that the Prime Minister Abadi needs to implement the reforms as promised and hold these people that are doing evil to the people of Iraq and are doing evil to the Iraq itself by stealing money laundering, and doing a lot of other things in secret. They need to go. They need to be punished, and they need to be put to justice. And the people are saying if Abadi doesn't do it, they are going to start to handle it. The demonstrations are going to get more violent, and they're going to come after those people that have done them wrong. So we're walking fine lines here in Iraq, and Abadi knows this, so he's going to have to move here. So when I personally see Parliament take 2 weeks off, after they vote on the anti-money laundering law and say they're not going to come back till the Hadid holiday. And that's you cannot do that, okay? The Hadid holiday is like 2-3 days, or maybe 1 day. I don't know what it is, but you can't do that when people are struggling here, and you're taking 2 weeks off, or that you cannot do that while people are protesting and don't have electricity and cannot function. Okay, you need to do everything now. Okay, you might not. I mean, you can go off to London and go to your $1 million mansion in London, and when you come back, they might be waiting on you at the palace. You see what I'm saying? So you cannot allow that. Okay, this is just my thoughts. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys agree with me. They need to get this stuff done now. I don't know what they're waiting on. It's been months. The people have been crying out. Now the people are going to take things into their hands. Okay, it's surprising because I thought right now the Kurds would be doing that. Okay, but the Kurds have just said, you know what, we're not ready to go independent yet. We're going to agree with Baghdad on a deal with the oil and gas law. Now the people are saying, okay, well, Kurds, if you're not going to do it, we're going to do it. So this is going to get interesting really quick here. especially if the people take things into their own hands. You'll definitely see a emergency situation come in Iraq quickly, okay? And it's going to be all good for the people, trust, because the people have the power and they have the numbers, and when the people speak and rise up, they get things done, okay? So let's see here. One more question. There's a question from Scarlet 2575. I don't see anybody answering it on here. Recaps didn't put it, so let me see if I can answer it. It says, one question: if the Iraqi dinar has no intention of RI-RV in the near future, would other countries have the right to RV their currency before them? He says, are all countries having to wait on this crazy, insane country to start the domino effect? I am just so confused with all this. I have been in this investment going 9 years and feel at times down. Only God can bring this forth. Well, yeah, I'm going to say this. The domino effect starts with Iraq. You're right. Everybody has to wait on Iraq. Unfortunately, that is how the game is going to be played. Everybody has to wait for Iraq to be ready. Okay, and when Iraq is ready, then we'll see the rest of the currencies go later down the road, or some of them might go a few weeks after. I don't know, but everybody has to wait on Iraq. Why? Because a lot of the emerging countries have the dinar in their reserves. Number one, of course, America and China and Europe have dinars in their reserves as well. Also, Iraq has oil. Okay, so Iraq is going to be a top tier currency. Okay, they're going back to $3 plus. The other countries that you probably have currencies of, they're not going to even probably see $1.50. Okay, to the U.S. dollar. Okay, Iraq's going back to 3 plus. So yeah, that's the big dog. That is the big one, and they have all the oil. Okay, and they have not just oil, but they're going to be a place where foreign investors are going to come in with billions and trillions of dollars. Okay, they're going to build that place up like Kuwait, like Dubai, and they're going to make it look good. Okay, so yeah, so Iraq goes first and then everything else. I'm sorry, that's just how it is, and you're going to have to wait until they're ready. But like I said, the people of Iraq are not going to wait longer here. They're not going to wait any longer. Okay, so there's a shift coming. They know it, and they demand their purchasing power and their new way of life now. So if they don't see it, they're going to start destroying everything. So, they're going to get it. They're going to get what they deserve. All right. So that's it for world news. I am out. I might do entertainment news tonight. Okay. So watch out for that. I might do entertainment news today, and that will be episode 1. I will start that, and it'll just be talking about what's going on in the entertainment area, what's on the headlines and things like that. Okay. That might be tonight, because it is Friday. So I might start that tonight. All right. So this is Currency 365, powered by Eyes Open Media. Salute to all the people from Eyes Open Media Facebook page, and everybody from Currency 365 main channel that is now subscribed to the backup channel, and everybody around the world listening. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Peace.